I don't know what to say, really.
Roethlisberger, the quarterback, was all fucking hug it, chug it, football all night.
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7!
Look for me in the end zone after this play. I'll be the guy holding the ball.
John!
What?
Red 7!
I don't know what red 7 means.
Hot route!
I don't. What is hot route?
I know football. What you did with those boys. You were the right man for the job, coach.
You're Hall of Fame in my book.
Featherstones, off to the races.
Don't throw the Stonehenge!
Your seventh pick gives you what? A running back with a rap sheet?
You don't know who I'm picking, 7, Tom. I'm not going to sell the farm for one guy.
Well, you should. Your farm sucks.
Order sucks. It really, really sucks.
You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds.
Nerds! Come on! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
I think we ought to tell Coach.
Hell no, you don't want to know about this.
Yeah!
Swenson protected well, lost one to the end zone. Yes! Bidwell, touchdown Cardinals.
Oh, what a great effort. Did you see him go up on that ball?
This is your opportunity
For
here.
you. Playing football at West Canaan may have been the opportunity of your lifetime. But I don't want your life.
You're not frozen. It is me being a doofus.
Utah, give me 2.
Pallazzo podcast. Where is it? Right here. 2 L's, 2 Z's. Look at this. Ooh. Ah. I was just on live talking baseball with my pals, Britton Allen and Mike Virginia. Love those guys. That was fun. There was so much to cover. We didn't even get into even half of it. So much more to talk about. Looking forward to that. But right now, we are moving into the football zone. It's a new dimension. We left the baseball dimension. Now we were inside of the football dimension. Football Valhalla.
Great job.
As the great Bob Ufer once said. Rest in peace, Bob.
Wow, dude.
He's a good man. All right, so, Anthony's here. He was in the baseball chat. He doesn't do football, though. Govier, who was first to be traded, Skubal or Peralta? Get out of here, you jackass. Come on, Anthony. You're a funny guy. We had some pre-ordered questions before the show even went live, which you can do on the YouTube side of things. Even before we go live, you can comment in the live chat, and they will show up for all time in the chat forever. Pallazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's.
Utah.
Please follow MJ Govier, the Pallazzo Podcast, and everybody who's involved. Mike Virginia, Britton Allen, Big Gentle Ben, Robbie Baseball, Sam Wershing, etc., etc., etc. And, of course, the link for the Discord, which is totally free. It's in the description. Just click on the link and join us. We talk football, baseball, and everything else that happens in this world. There are no limits! No limits!
Go Chargers, go!
Our cover boy today is Oronde Gadsden II. Give me 2.
Utah.
There's 2 Gadsdens for
Give
the
me
price
2.
of 1. What a game he had. 7 catches, 164 yards, and a touchdown in that loss to the Colts, who are dominant. The Colts are amazing. The Colts have just slapped the shit out of me. Big time, folks.
Wow,
I don't know what I'm talking about. I keep thinking the Colts are going to come back to earth, but they're just going to be here all year. They're this year's, like Minnesota Vikings a couple years ago. Remember when they were ridiculously good in one-score games? They went like 13-1 for a while. It was nutty. And then they lost in the playoffs to Daniel Jones and the Giants. That's right, at home. And now Daniel Jones is the quarterback for Indianapolis. He's a legit fantasy quarterback. There's no doubt about it. Jonathan Taylor, 3 touchdowns a game. Just keeps doing it. Three touchdown games this year. He's not the best back, but he's getting the volume as the goal line back for an offense that puts up a shitload of points. So there it is. Jonathan Taylor is making the difference right now. He is the X factor. He is the clutch. He is the variable that you don't count on necessarily for fantasy points. He's doing it all. Volume. So Shane Steichen's a good coach. I liked him, but I bailed after last year. I gave up on the Colts, and I gave up on him. But Jim Irsay passes away in the offseason, and now the Colts are reborn with Daniel Jones in this offense. I still don't think that defense is good. Oronde Gadsden was able to smoke the defense, but the Colts got up to a big lead, so maybe they got lazy. But maybe not as lazy as the Giants' defense did. Brian Daboll, you might want to...
So you better run a check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
That's for you, Brian Daboll. Check yourself, because you may have wrecked yourself. You've got a franchise quarterback, as people like to say. We found our quarterback. We have a franchise quarterback. Jackson Dart, J-A-X, son. That's how you spell that, by the way. Not like Jackson Smith and Jigba, J-S-N. That's J-A-X-O-N. So Jackson Dart has the S, and J-S-N doesn't. Got it? We're all caught up now? Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Son of a biscuit. Idiot.
Great job.
What a dumbass I am.
Yes.
You can hit all the buttons now.
So you better run a check. Thank you, Jesus.
Shut the fuck up!
There we go. I hit all the buttons at once. Was that fun? All right, so I have to admit what I did wrong. I started Justin Fields. Is this the last time I start Justin Fields? I thought against the Panthers at home that even though there was no Garrett Wilson, that Justin Fields could run for 100 yards, but he's just done. It's just over. The Jets are death. Just like I bet on the Chiefs on Sunday to destroy the Raiders. Normally, we do not take Patrick Mahomes as a big favorite. Everybody knows this, right? Whenever the Chiefs have a big number in front of them, they don't cover it as favorites. But this was the exception because the Raiders are so bad and they had no offense. They had nobody. Genti was left for dead with Geno Smith. And they just rolled them out the building. The Raiders never had a chance. They never cared. Right off the bat, they gave up that huge pass play to Travis Kelce, and it looked like they didn't even really want to tackle him. He was just kind of jogging after he caught it, and no Raider was interested in shutting that down. It was so bizarre. But the Raiders are trash, just like the Jets are ultimate trash. The Tennessee Titans are ultimate trash. And we have to know that. The NFL is known for parity, right? Anybody, any given Sunday, boop-a-dee-beep-ba-da-doo-ba-doo. No, there are shit teams, and you can bet against them, you can play fantasy against them, and you can score points, and you can win money. And that's how it is now. It doesn't matter what happened a long time ago. There is a divide in the NFL between good and bad teams, and it's big. It's big, 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 big.
Wow, dude.
All right, so let's get to the preordained questions. Jason Ortiz was raring to go. He hit me with 3 questions before the show even went live, which is on YouTube. Please subscribe and like the video. You know how that works. It helps the show. So if you care at all, just help the show grow. Connect with us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We actually are monetized, so we can make some money if people watch and share, and we get that wonderful advertising money. It's so wonderful, the advertising money, right? I love ads. If you know me, to know me is to know how much I adore commercial advertising. I just think it's the bee's knees. I just love it so much. This country would not be the same if it weren't for commercial advertising. Thank you. Thank you for your service, advertisers, and all that you do. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Jesus.
Anyways, Jason was saying, should I drop Ayuk and Fanning? I got Tyler Warren and Io Manor for Tez Johnson, who last week, where's that Tez Johnson guy? Are you here? Last week, we had a guy jump in the chat. He was all about Tez Johnson, hyping it up like they were best friends, like they went to school together or something, and telling us, Tez Johnson, this guy can play. And I said, well, he can play, but it's all about opportunity. Well, now that Mike Evans is out for the year, he's done. Mike Evans, bye-bye. So Tez Johnson's got an opportunity in Tampa now. That's exciting. So shout out to that guy. I hope you come back in. I hope you're hearing this. Please, please say something. Check in, because you were right. Tez Johnson, bye-bye-bye. Well done. All right, so Ayuk and Fanning, Harold Fannin, by the way, I think it's Fannin, not L Fanning, right? Or Dakota Fanning. So he's got Ayuk, Fanning, Io Manor, and he could add Tez, Spears, Monangai, Brashard Smith. I love Monangai. If you check out my rankings every week on the Patreon, links in the description. Starts at $3, or you can just join for free. Depends on when. Sometimes I just post stuff for free all the time, actually. It's just like a website. That's really what it is. Patreon hosts a website for me, and we agree to those terms. But in those rankings, Monangai is a guy I've kept talking about, and I kept having him up and up and up. He had 13 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown in the win over the Saints, 26-14. Swift also had a great game. DeAndre Swift played real well. So the question is, what do you think? Are you interested in Monangai? Maybe an injury happens to Swift, who's, he's not brittle, but he could be hurt like anyone else. And if Monangai is a guy who can run with volume, I really believe that Monangai is a guy at Rutgers. He could do this. He can carry the ball 30 times. He really is that type of back. So I'm big on Monangai, and I like what the Bears are doing. They got the Ravens this week. Lamar Jackson, healthy, ready to go. I'm assuming that the Ravens will blow the Bears out the building. That's what I'm assuming. But if that doesn't happen, it means that John Harbaugh might be done in Baltimore, even after all these years and all the goodwill he's accrued there and the consistency, right? I really think that game will be very telling because the Ravens should come off the bye knowing they have to save their season and get to work against this Bears team that's won 4 straight. That's stupid. It's the dumbest winning streak ever. The Bears are not that good. Caleb Williams is overrated. But Monangai is a guy I like. And I like him much better than Brashard Smith, and that's without question. I got no qualms about that at all. I got no doubts. I feel very, very good about that, okay? Thank you. So, Ayuk, we're expecting Ayuk back in week 12-ish, right? Just off the top of my head of what the chatter has been about Ayuk. Gadzooks, Ayuk, Gadzooks. Shanahan gives Ayuk week 10 rough estimate according to Roto World. Okay, so maybe he's back in 2 weeks. That's fun. The 49ers got at Houston this week, which is tough. Houston should win that game. That defense is tough. See that Will Anderson, that touchdown last night? Houston defense, they can score points for you in fantasy. I've had the Houston defense and the Cleveland defense everywhere. Those are the defenses I've locked in on, and I'm proud of it and happy with it. But week 10 would be, it looks like, the Rams. That's a big rematch of that game that the 49ers outright stole from McVay, Stafford, and the Rams on that Thursday night game. Everybody in the world had the Rams, but not only did the 49ers cover, they won it outright. It was a lot of fun for them. But they get the Rams in week 10, and Ayuk could be back for that home game, possibly. So it's Houston, the Giants, and the Rams over the next 3 weeks for the 49ers. Kittle came back this week. That's good news. Purdy's supposed to be back this week as well, although he's facing that tough Houston D. That's not going to be a welcome return for him. Bottom line is, Tyler Warner's a god, so that is obvious. Fannin, if Njoku, who might be back this week, Njoku set out this last week for the Brownies with that knee issue, and we don't know if Njoku's going to play this week or not. If he's out, then it's Fannin's world against New England. The Browns are off to the Northeast to take on the Pats, who are 5-2. And, boy, Fannin is going to get more targets than not. They're not going to throw the ball 52 times like they did 2 weeks ago when Dylan Gabriel threw the ball 52 times in a loss for the Browns, which was trash. But, this past week, it's serviceable. Judkins had 3 touchdowns. Judkins is a god. I underestimated Judkins. I like Trevion Henderson more in the preseason than I did Judkins. If we're comparing the 2 rookie Ohio State running backs, both drafted in the second round, Judkins is absolutely the man. And I've made it clear in my rankings now on the Patreon, in my running back rankings, that, Judkins is way up there now. I've totally bought in. I believe it. And the 3 touchdown game, a lot of volume, just 20-plus carries every week. Absolutely every week. Judkins is a 20-plus carry guy. And we know that's a rare thing these days. I don't know if you guys have heard this. It's hard to find a running back who can get a lot of volume like that in today's NFL. So, Monangai's a guy I'd like there. I wouldn't drop either one of those guys, though, necessarily, because Tez Johnson or Ayuk, who would you rather have? Tez Johnson has an opportunity. Ayuk's coming back from injury, but he's more explosive if he's healthy. But it's a knee injury. It's a wide receiver. It's something I don't know if you want to deal with that or not. But Io Manor, he's going to have to get a lot of targets here. From Tennessee sucks, and it's shit. Now they got Mike McCoy, former Chargers coach. Well, that's not the Chargers button. What am I doing there? Whoops-a-daisy.
Go Chargers, go.
Former Chargers head coach Mike McCoy is running the Titans now, and we'll see if he can get Io Manor some more targets from the rookie Cam Ward, who's just, it's not Cam Ward's fault, guys. Don't give Cam Ward any shit, okay? This is the Titans' fault, and it's Brian Callahan, that shit-ass garbage coach who was fired. It's his fault, okay? Spicy Cloud's here. The live chat's wide open, so I'm taking your questions. Let's talk it out. What are we doing? Spicy Cloud, I have Jackson Dart and Lamar. Tight ends are Fannin and Hawk. Should I trade a quarterback for a better tight end? By the way, I said this at the top of the show, Spicy Cloud. Jackson Dart, he spells it Jaxson. Who gives a shit, Govier? Shut up. Tell me the answer. I don't care about the spelling, right? I mean, we got AI. We don't need to spell anymore. Nobody needs to learn spelling ever again. We have AI. End of story. And even before AI, we already had spell check, did we not? So, boy. I mean, those are pretty decent tight ends. Again, like I just said, if Njoku's out, Fannin gets the opportunity. Hawkinson, I think, is overrated. I don't love him. I don't have him on any teams. I didn't draft him anywhere. I thought there were better tight end options, so I avoided Hawkinson at all cases. And what's going on with Minnesota now is really bizarre because I didn't think it was true, but now it absolutely seems like it was intentional to bench J.J. McCarthy. It's not a real injury. It looks like bullshit. And I just don't know. The guy had a fourth quarter comeback in the opening game to beat Chicago on the road. Then he sucks in the Atlanta home game, and then he's just off the map. And Carson Wentz, it's Carson Wentz, man. I don't give a shit if he's got Jordan Addison and Jefferson and Hawkinson. I mean, there's weapons galore there, but J.J. McCarthy has got to be able to do something with that, right? That's a Thursday night game, by the way. We got the Chargers and the Vikings in L.A. on Thursday night. Quick turnaround, too. Is McCarthy going to get the keys? I mean, maybe it's already been established because it's a short week and they've already made a choice with Wentz one more time. Maybe they're going to do Wentz on the short week and then go back. Wentz has a shoulder issue, but he was a full participant in practice today. He also had 300 yards against Philly, but he had 2 picks, no touchdowns. He did run for 30 yards. I think if you want a better tight end situation, then yes, you could trade Jackson Dart. Because now Lamar's off the bye, so I assume you're starting Lamar rest of season, right? So if it's not Superflex and you just got Lamar as your quarterback all the way now, and somebody needs a quarterback and likes what Jackson Dart is doing, who I like what Jackson Dart is doing. Earlier in the show, I was talking about Justin Fields, how I started him. 2 leagues I started Justin Fields in, both Superflex leagues, over Jackson Dart. I should have just at least done one of them. If you have 2 situations that are exactly the same on 2 different teams, try one and try the other if you're not sure. Why did I start Justin Fields twice and didn't give Dart any run? Because nobody thought that Dart and the Giants were going to do much against that Denver D. I don't care who you are. Don't give me that shit now. No hindsight. What have you done for me lately? The Giants going to Denver looked like a very bad matchup, and everybody was on the under, banging the under. But then you have one of those craziest games you'll ever see. Maybe the craziest regular season game in NFL history took place in the Mile High City this past Sunday. I can't believe it. Bo Nix, crazy. 4 touchdowns in a quarter, 2 rushing, 2 passing. Unreal. And Cortland Sutton doesn't get one of those, by the way. He didn't score. I thought Cortland Sutton was going to score if Bo Nix was going to do something. Cortland, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy here. I'm really upset about the Jackson Dart Fields thing. Anyways, that's what I do. You know, if you want to get a better tight end, so be it. Trade Jackson Dart. I don't think trading Lamar is a wise move because it looks like right now Lamar should be good to go, and the Ravens should go on a run here. And that's fantasy points for you. And if Baltimore's defense isn't going to be much better going forward, that means shootouts galore, which is a lot of opportunity to score points with one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy in Lamar Jackson. Am I wrong? Am I right?
Yes, 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 yes.
I don't know. But that's my opinion. Spicy's follow-up is, do you think once Bucky is back, the backfield will be split? No. No, I don't. Bucky Irving is the best back. He's much better than Rachaad White. Rachaad White's a receiving guy, so I don't think it's much of a split, in my opinion. Bucky Irving is a volume guy as well. He should get 15-plus carries a game, even when he's back and healthy, and I'm not doubting that. But we'll see. You know, Tampa's got the Saints in Nolans this week, and my Lions beat the shit out of them last night. That was fun. Go Lions! Yay! Woohoo! I love my Lions! The Lions are a good team, but they will not win the Super Bowl. As long as Jared Goff is the quarterback, doesn't matter what you surround him with, it's not enough. The Lions cannot win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff, and I'm locking myself in on like the 87th time I've said this. That's just how it is. Okay? Thanks. Oh, thanks for the insight, says Spicy Cloud. I had 160 points this week. My opponent put up 177. Ah! Oh, God.
Damn!
That sucks, man. In a key matchup I was looking at last night for the Monday night games, I was down by quite a bit, but I still had JSN, and boy, did he put on a show. I didn't think I was going to pull it out because the Houston defense is a defense that I fear greatly. And Spicy Cloud, maybe you were facing that defense in that matchup that you lost by 17 points. I mean, that sucks. To lose 177 to 160, depending on your scoring, that's a bummer. And I feel for you, Spicy. You don't deserve it. You're a good person who deserves more. You really do. And I'm sorry that happened to you. Hey, where's my water? Did I forget to... I was going to fill up my water and then I left it out there? No! Unbelievable. I can't believe I did that. Anyways, that's what I think about that. And I'm sorry for your difficult matchup. Let's talk about some guys for this week, where we're at, what's going down here. We're looking at squads and opportunities. Is it over? Is it too late? Who's panicking right now? Who thinks they're done? Now, remember, we got week 8, week 9, week 10, week 11, week 12, week 13, week 14. That's 7 more weeks still, guys. 7 more weeks. So if you're down in the dumps, if you're 2-5, you still got a shot here. You can make the playoffs. It's not over. It is definitely not over, okay? Spicy says, what days do you go live? I'll definitely be tuning back in. Spicy, great to have you here. Subscribe, like the video. The Discord link is in our description. It's totally free, and the Discord's open 24/7 all the time. But we're live every Tuesday night talking waiver wire. I'm usually just doing the one show a week right now, but I give you everything you want. But when we're not on the air here, the Discord is free and open. The Patreon is free too, depending. Certain posts are free. It's all in the description, all our links, every way to connect with us on Twitter X and Blue Sky and blah, blah, blah. Okay? I'm really glad you're here. And I love people who use the live chat to ask questions or just to comment on things they've seen. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, Spicy. Nobody else. This live chat is dead. Otherwise, Spicy Cloud, you're running it. You are running things. All right, so this week, it's not over for you folks. You still have a chance, okay? But this is a really important week. People who need a win, they got to get a win in week 8. And we got 6 buys, right? People are talking about, oh my God, 6 buys. Yeah, it's a lot. A lot. How many buys is that? A lot. How many buys is that? 21 Savage, a lot. But there are opportunities this week. And in week 8, my Lions are off. So after a dominant win over the Bucks, the Lions are chilling, resting up for the stretch run in November. And the Cardinals are off. The Seahawks are on a bye. Plenty of buys that you'll have to contend with this week, right? It's not a lot of fun. It's not. But you've prepared for this, right? You knew when your buys were, and you planned accordingly, right? You drafted accordingly because you knew that in week 8, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Lions, the Rams, and the Jags were all going to be on a bye. This is the biggest bye week, I think, of the season. There won't be another one like this. This is the biggest, 6 teams. Because, yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we got 4 team buys still coming up, but this is the biggest week for buys, and you got to fill the void, right? Ezekiel's here. What's up, Ezekiel? In his house. Good to see you, my man. How you been? What's going on, Ezekiel? You okay? Any troubles in your life you want to talk about, Ezekiel? I'm here for you.
Wow, dude.
No, that's not what you wanted. You just want me to get to the question, don't you? Okay, Ezekiel, I'll answer your question. Who should I try to pick up, Pollard or Woody? So is Pollard available? I'd be surprised to hear that. I mean, I know the Titans suck, but Pollard is a starting back in an NFL team, and even if he's terrible, well, actually, Pollard's not terrible. It's just that the Titans are terrible, right? And the Titans have the Colts this week, which is a great matchup for the Colts, and wholly depressing for the Titans, I assume. But it's a good game where the Titans could actually put up some offense if they have half a clue of what they're doing. By the way, Titans released Tyler Lockett, if you care at all. If you care at all. Tyler Lockett. I think he's toast, but I guess it's all about fit and opportunity, right? Look at Joe Flacco. I think the Joe Flacco story is being a little overhyped, but it is so impressive. Even Bruce Arians was on the Pat McAfee show today. I love Bruce Arians, so I tune in to listen to BA because that guy's a badass. He speaks the truth. He tells it like it is, and he wants to win, and he's not trying to hurt you. He's just trying to help you, but he's going to be honest and direct. And BA said the Flacco thing was incredible to just be traded and then be able to win a football game in the NFL. Yes, he's got the weapons. He's got Higgins and Chase, and the targets made fantasy owners so happy to see Joe Flacco targeting these luxury wide receivers he has at his disposal. But that was a rare thing. Not everybody can do that. And the Titans, they wish they had Joe Flacco, it seems now, right? Isn't that crazy? Is that the world we live in? I mean, good God in heaven.
Great job. Wow, dude.
Nuts. But Woody Marks, again, I don't believe it. I told you this before. After he had the 2-touchdown game when they shut out those Titans back in week 4 or 5, whatever week that was. Woody Marks, everyone's talking about Woody Marks. No, I said no. And the next week didn't do shit, then they had a bye. So Woody Marks scored a touchdown last night, but it was really just because he caught a ball and scored. He did have 10 carries, which is good. So you're like, oh, Woody Marks is getting 10 carries. But that offensive line is shit. He had 10 carries for 15 yards. 10 carries for 15 yards. So clearly it's Chubb and Woody Marks. My guy Dameon Pierce is just dead. He's missing in action. But the Seattle matchup was a tough one for them as well. So I guess I'd rather have Pollard still because it's clearly Pollard's backfield, even though he's got a battle with Tyjae Spears. I mean, I have already lived that life. I'm the guy who thought Tyjae Spears would be a guy who made a difference on an NFL team, and he's just not done that in his career. He's had injuries, problems too, so that's been a bummer. But, Pollard is the clear number 1 back in Tennessee, and Spears is 2. In the game, if you care, that just occurred this last weekend where the Titans could not pull out a victory, believe it or not, against the New England Patriots at home, even though the Titans fought early, but the whole second half was dominated by the Patriots, except for Trevion Henderson, who doesn't do dick. Trevion Henderson is trash, and the Patriots hate him. Yes. That's what I learned. I know that to be true. God bless it. Son of a biscuit. It's Ramondre's back. Ramondre Stevenson. He's the man. He's getting it done in New England. So congratulations to him. But in that game against the Titans on Sunday, Pollard had 57% of the snaps, and Tyjae Spears got 43. So, that may make you question things like, oh, gosh, well, maybe it's more of a split time thing than I realized. And I'm not so sure of that. Spears is coming back healthy finally. He missed the start of the year. So, yeah, he's going to get some more opportunities. The last 3 weeks, Spears, 4 carries, 5 carries, 5 carries. He's had a couple catches in the last 2 games, being targeted 4 times in each of the last 2 games. But he's looking more like he's just giving Pollard a break, and he's the pass-catching guy, even though Pollard can catch balls. But I'm not worried about too much. I'm not. I think Pollard is still that guy there. I don't want the Tennessee offense in my life when it comes to fantasy at all, so let's be clear about that. I'm just telling you, if you have to make a choice between Tony Pollard and Woody Marks, I'd rather have Pollard just because I trust that it's his show a bit more, and maybe actually Tennessee's offensive line is actually better than Houston's, which is strange, but it is. Ezekiel says, I have Henderson. Should I drop him? Yeah, that son of a bitch, you should drop his ass.
Wow, dude.
Okay, that was a bit harsh. But the truth of the matter is, what would the snap share on Henderson really pissed me off because I thought it was a great chance for him to get some carries and score, possibly even a touchdown against a shit Tennessee defense. But it was all Ramondre. Ramondre, 75. This was a tight backfield. Ramondre Stevenson and Trevion Henderson, the rookie out of Ohio State, who sucks. Always got to slip that in where I can. It was more split. Back in week 3, Trevion outdid Ramondre, 46 to 36 snaps. Week 4, Ramondre, 57-31. Week 5, Ramondre, 52-50, very tight. This is 2 weeks ago. Ramondre and Trevion were dead even. But then the last 2 weeks, it's become abundantly clear that it is absolutely Ramondre's show. And I don't know, Trevion Henderson must be doing something shitty in practice or something because he is losing the snaps big time, and it's not even close now. Look at that, 70. It's basically a 70-30 split. This past week, it went down Terrell Jennings, whoever the fuck that is. He got as many snaps as Trevion Henderson did now. Why draft Trevion Henderson in the second round if you're not going to use him? You're using a valuable pick, a second-round pick on the guy. But Terrell Jennings is getting more run? What did Trevion Henderson do? What is going on here? What am I not aware of? What did I miss? Any Patriots insiders have any leads on what the hell happened? Why Trevion is falling behind? I mean, the Patriots are winning, so they're happy, but Trevion Henderson, his fantasy value has gone to shit. So should you drop him? It depends who you're going to add. This is always the case. As you know, Ezekiel, what are you going to do? I can't just say drop him because I don't know who you're adding. I don't know the context of your roster. Give me some more deets here, and I'll try to help you out. But I just wouldn't drop him yet, though it looks... Trevion Henderson's outlook rest of season right now looks terrible. But this is the NFL where weird shit happens, right? One week is completely different than the next. Right? That's how it goes. So you can't overreact too much to anything because every week a new game plan comes into play, another player gets hurt, or another player becomes more involved, gets better, shows something, a bye week improvement, whatever it is, right? It's just, you can't panic. You can't freak out. Okay? All right, so waiver wire. Let's take a look. This is actually, I'll go to the Pallazzo Podcast Invitational, the football version, where I am currently 4-3, hanging tough. Had a tough loss by 3 points. Could not overcome. Taking out my old friend Jamie, who I've known for 30 years. He beat me. I got him into this league, and he beat me. He beat me. So pay that man his money. Here's the roster. Jordan Love, disappointing. George Pickens, amazing. Drake London, solid. Genty's trash. Not his fault, though. Kenneth Walker III. I drafted a lot of Kenneth Walker III, and it's been a total bummer. It's been a huge bummer. Charbonnet scored 2 touchdowns last night. It's an equal backfield, dead even. And Charbonnet's maybe outperforming him, frankly. Tucker Kraft is a god. I love him. So good. And Romeo Doubs, he's good. Now, we got Jaden Reed and Christian Watson on the horizon, so we got to keep an eye on the Packers' receiving situation. But Dobbs, 6 catches, 72 yards against the Cardinals. I thought he'd score a touchdown. Didn't quite work out, but he's a focal point for Mr. Jordan Love, which is good news. The Kendrick Bourne run is over, guys. It's time to say goodbye. I'm going to drop Kendrick Bourne because we just mentioned earlier, Spicy's talking about Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is on the mend. And Ricky Pearsall should be back this week. George Kittle already came back, so Kendrick Bourne's going to fall to the wayside here, and that's too bad. Zay Flowers coming off the bye. I'm expecting a big week. Kyle Pitts, nice little game. He 7 catches on 10 targets for 62 yards. No touchdown, but in PPR, this is very useful in the loss to San Francisco, even though Penix sucked ass. I love you, Michael Penix. Why do you hurt me so? Travis Hunter had his best game as a pro. Scored his first career touchdown. Yay! Look at that. 14 targets in that stupid Rams blowout. Now, the question is this a great time to sell Travis Hunter or buy him? I would argue it's probably a great time to sell him because of the game script that we just dealt with. I mean, it was a total blowout. So Travis Hunter put up garbage time stats galore. That's what that is. That doesn't impress me. So I would say sell high on Travis Hunter right now, right? Maybe. He's on a bye, too, so take that into consideration. All right, so let's take a look at the waiver wire here. That's the whole purpose of this. So in this league, let's focus on flexes. As far as quarterbacks, if you're looking to fill a bye, Spencer Rattler at home against Tampa, that's a good bye replacement quarterback. Tua's trash. It's over. Joe Flacco against that Jets defense at home, that's a nice fill-in for sure. So is Aaron Rodgers on Sunday night against his former team, the Green Bay Packers. Get ready for the promotion. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers do battle once more. Sunday.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, they probably better run a Aaron Rodgers check.
So you better run a check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Andy Dalton. Yep, he's going to start this week. Bryce Young is out, got hurt, ankle issue. So Andy Dalton taking on the Buffalo Bills at home. That's interesting. Could be a solid bye week replacement. I don't fear that Buffalo D too much. If you're really, really desperate, I guess Cam Moore to Indianapolis. I still don't think Indianapolis' defense is any good. I don't. But that's real risky. That's real risky. And then it just gets worse from there. So as far as bye week quarterback replacements. On our waiver wire, Keon Coleman doesn't really excite me too much. Darnell Mooney against Miami, somewhat interesting. Coming back home. The Falcons play a lot better at home in Atlanta. There's no doubt about that. So that's interesting. If you're looking to pick Mooney up, he's 29% roster in Yahoo leagues. We talked about Njoku. Alec Pierce. That's a great matchup against Tennessee. If you're looking to plug and play a guy who can do something for you, Alec Pierce, when healthy, he had 10 targets in that Chargers game. That was a season high by far. So don't get overly confident that, Alec Pierce is a factor now. It might have been a fluke, depending on, I think Josh Downs was hurt. It was a situational thing. So don't freak out and be, Alec Pierce, that's a must play against Tennessee. Keep an eye on the injury report first and foremost. Christian Kirk is trash. It's a trash Houston offense. Here he is. This is the guy on our cover. Look at this. I mean, the last 2 weeks, he has absolutely just become the factor for them. Oronde Gadsden II is absolute must-roster tight end in fantasy. And they got Minnesota on Thursday night. Then they got Tennessee and Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. Those are great matchups, too. That shapes up real well for the Chargers and Gadsden before the bye in Week 12. Man, I mean, a tight end to put up a line like this is so, that's rare. That is some rare shit. 7 catches, $164 and a touchdown. Wow.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, you should thank the good Lord for that one. That was amazing. Ezekiel's got a little question here on the Pallazzo podcast. We're live on YouTube and everywhere else.
Utah.
2 L's.
Give me 2.
2 Z's. I'm here for you. I'm going to go soon. I mean, nobody cares. I'm going to bail. That's how it works. I'm in a bad spot. I need a running back for this week. Current running backs are Gibbs, Irving, Charbonnet, Henderson. Wide receivers are Rice. Rashee Rice is back. And boy, he's going to put up big numbers with Mahomes. That's a great combo. If you drafted Rice and waited it out, it's going to be worth the wait. You're going to be thrilled. I guarantee it. It's fantastic. I wish I had some Rashee Rice in my life. I don't have any.
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
No, that's a no. So your receivers are Rice, Addison, Shakir, Golden, Moore. How many Moores are there? A lot. I'm trying to think of which Moore this is. Because there's a lot of Moores. Chris Moore, DJ Moore, Elijah Moore, Sky Moore. A lot of Moores. Remember that. What should I do in this situation? So he needs a running back for this week. You got Bucky Irving. The other guys are on a bye, and you got Trevion Henderson. So you can only hope, and that's a Cleveland defense that can stuff the run. So it seems highly unlikely. Though this is the NFL. Insert repetitive comment here. Highly unlikely that Trevion Henderson is going to do something all of a sudden against this Cleveland defense when he's just been losing playing time and snaps, right? So you can drop, I don't know which more it is. You got to clarify Ezekiel. I like Golden. Golden's he's getting better. The problem is, though, Golden's got more receivers coming back. Like I said, Jaden Reed and Christian Watson will be back in November, most likely, I assume. So that's not good for Golden. You might be able to move on from him if it's not Dynasty or Keeper. If you love Golden, that's a different story. Shakir, Shakir's real hit or miss, man. I could do without Shakir. I don't think I'm missing too much. If I don't have Khalil Shakir on my roster, am I going to be okay? Probably. He's caught 2 balls for touchdowns this year. Hasn't cracked 70 yards receiving in any game. He's had a couple of 9-target games, 2 of those, but otherwise, unless you feel like Josh Allen and the Bills' offense and the passing attack is really going to take off, Panthers this week, which Panthers can be thrown on. That is true. I'd be able to move one of those guys if you want to try to add another running back. I don't know who's on the waiver wire. So, it is DJ Moore. Oh, that's been rough waiting that out. But they are taking on the Ravens this week, so maybe this is the week. But people keep saying that about DJ Moore, and I keep waiting, and he just keeps disappointing. There's not a connection there between him and Caleb Williams. I don't know why. Maybe somebody slept with somebody. I don't know.
Give me back my son.
Yeah, maybe somebody stole someone's son and they won't give it back, or somebody robbed somebody, stole a PS5 and won't give it back. Said they borrowed a lawnmower, didn't give it back. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. Who knows? That's a tough spot, though, Ezekiel. KJ in the house. What's up, KJ? KJ Frederick. Subscribe, like the video. Thank you very much, and now I will answer your question. Should I drop Hendo? Man, a lot of Hendo talk here. Trevion Henderson alerts for Kyle M. or Brashard Smith. Full PPR. Okay. Brashard Smith. People like Brashard Smith, huh? I mean, I like Monange way more than Brashard Smith. That's me. I've made this clear on the show. But Yeah, I would actually drop Hendo for Monange. I would. I love Monange that much. I'm going to put my ass on the line and say yes. I would drop Trevion Henderson for Kyle Monange out of Rutgers, and I'm going to lock myself in now. I would. I like it. I think Brashard Smith is it's much more hit or miss, uncertainty abound, and I don't know that you can count on that. Even though he had 14 carries in the Raiders game, that was a blowout game. So he got more time because it was a blowout. I firmly believe that. I don't have any second guesses about that. Because Isaiah Pacheco getting a little bit more run lately, been playing better. I think that's still Pacheco's backfield without question. I do. And actually, I kind of like acquiring Isaiah Pacheco. I do. Because he's kind of a buy low, or people aren't really that excited about Pacheco. But the way that offense is set up now, Pacheco can thrive with the threat of Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and even Kelsey. That's an opportunity there. Play action passing, opening up the running lanes for Pacheco, who can also catch the ball out of the backfield. But, yeah, that's what I would do, KJ. I wish you luck, and I hope it works out. That's my 2 cents on the Kyle Monange matter versus Brashard Smith. Even knowing it's full PPR, I still prefer Monange quite a bit more. I do. And if you have a problem with that, well, I don't know what to tell you. Monange can catch some balls, by the way. I mean, he hasn't had much of a chance to do it yet, but Monange has some hands. He could catch some balls. Thank you. You're welcome, KJ. Thank you for being here. And a round of applause to you for saying thank you. You're so polite. You have manners, and I'd like to thank you for that. That's what the Pallazzo podcast does here. 2 L's, 2 Z's, just for you. All right, so back to the... oh, gosh, my throat, my voice is getting tired. Back to the waiver wire stuff. I mean, Rondé Gadsden he's only 6% rostered, man. That's wild. That's wild. So almost everybody has a chance to pick up Rondé Gadsden this week, and you should. This is not a fluke. This is the real deal. Yes, there's a lot of mouths to feed in the Chargers' offensive situation, but Gadsden has now established himself. He's a talent. He was an excellent player at Syracuse. Gadsden's the real deal. It's not a fluke. He's not going to have the line he had this past week, but he's going to get opportunities, and I would love to have Gadsden as my tight end. In fact, going back to the question earlier for the guy I think it was Ezekiel was talking about, hey, should I pick up a tight end? Which one was that here? Oh, no, that was Spicy Cloud, of course. Yeah, Spicy. With this question about should I trade Jackson Dart or Lamar to try to pick up and improve my tight end situation? If you could just try to add a Rondé Gadsden, that's a great way to improve your tight end situation if he's available on your waiver wire. I would also trade Jackson Dart for a Rondé Gadsden the second, knowing that I had Lamar as my starting quarterback with no buys and that he's must start rest of season, right? It's all about the context of the situation you're in. Lamar's completed his bye. So as long as he's healthy now, you're starting him every week. You don't need a backup quarterback anymore. I just don't think it's necessary to hold a roster spot for a quarterback that's not going to play when you could try to add a tight end, depending on the context and the situation of the league you're in and the team who has Gadsden if he's not on the waiver wire. You dig? You hear what I'm saying here? It's a good call to make that happen. All right. Calvin Austin, the third, might be back for week 8. He missed the last week in that Steelers-Bengals game. That's a wide receiver that you could take a look at. Dalton Schultz is only 20% rostered, the tight end for the Texans. He had a lot of volume. And the fact that if Nico Collins, who left the game on Monday night, by the way, we got to get an update on Nico, see what's going on there. Concussion, I always assume a concussion means you're out. And Nico Collins sustained a concussion in that loss to Seattle. But Marvin Harrison Jr., he had a concussion last week against Indy, and he played this week. So that was surprising. Maybe as a wide receiver, it's a little easier to play. But if you're a quarterback or a running back, it's harder to have a concussion and still be a go the following week. But if Nico Collins can't go because of this concussion, Dalton Schultz is a prime guy to rack up volume this Sunday against the 49ers for Houston. Yes, Houston's offense sucks, but it should be an opportunity for the volume plays for Dalton Schultz. We all get real excited. When it's Dalton Schultz week, we all get raging boners, do we not? I mean, I know I do.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's fun. But seriously, it could be a good week for Dalton Schultz. Should I trade Golden for Pacheco or Pollard? Yes. I think you have enough wide receivers to spare that. Absolutely. I would trade Matthew Golden for Pacheco. Less excited about Pollard. I'd try to get Pacheco if I could. The Chiefs have the Commanders this week. I believe that's on Monday Night Football. Football Valhalla. So the Commanders come in, and Pacheco should be able to run all over the Commanders. So if someone's willing to take on Matthew Golden, I would be surprised, though, because that manager should know that Golden will be slightly diminished when Jaden Reed and Christian Watson come back into the Packer offense, right? But if he doesn't know that, or he or she doesn't know it, then great. Take advantage. Dive in. Get it done. Do it. Get it done. Yes. I like that. You ran a check, and you're better off for it, Ezekiel.
So you better run a check.
Well done. All right. So otherwise, going back, looking at this waiver wire with you guys, which is what we're doing. It's a waiver wire live chat. Live chat's pretty quiet tonight. So does that mean a lot of people are giving up, or it's opening night of the NBA, so everyone's locked in on that? I mean, that would seem strange to me, right? We got a long way to go in the NBA season. This is just night one. We got 82 games to play, so chill out. Theo Johnson continues to have a rapport with Jackson Dart. Theo Johnson's a nice tight end replacement this week, and he's rosterable, period, in my view. Okonkwo got shut out, but he didn't catch any balls for the Tennessee Titans in their loss to the Pats. But that won't happen again, so if you're looking for a tight end buy replacement, Okonkwo is a good call, only 23% rostered. Sterling Shepard. So Sterling Shepard, he's in the mix there. Mike Evans out for the year, most likely. It was amazing. Emeka Egbuka somehow played. Amazing. And he was targeted 12 times, but he only caught 4 balls. And I think that is a telling stat to say, maybe I wasn't that healthy, and that hamstring did impact my ability to play wide receiver. Because clearly, 12 targets, only 4 catches. That's not typical of what Baker Mayfield and Egbuka do together, right? So clearly the hammy was an issue. But all this to say is that Sterling Shepard had 7 catches for 25 yards against the Lions. Talk about ugly, but that's serviceable in PPR, right? So we'll take that in PPR. They got New Orleans this week, then they're on the bye. So Shepard is a guy to look at if you need to replace a wide receiver this week. I'm not that thrilled about it, but the Saints defense does suck on the passing game. I mean, they've been taken advantage of in the past. So if you not this past Sunday, because Caleb Williams and the Bears couldn't throw the ball. We had some weather. It wasn't a very good day for passing the ball. But back in the Dome, Baker should have a big game against the Saints in New Orleans. Okay? Pratt Freiermuth, remember what he did on Thursday night? It seems like a lifetime ago. But he had 2 touchdowns. He hadn't done shit. Look at this. He hadn't done shit for weeks. Then he has a monster game against the Bengals. 5 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now he's got Green Bay. Will the good times continue for Freiermuth? It's worth taking a look at. Rodgers is very connected with his tight ends. Both Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith are playable tight ends because the receivers are outside of DK Metcalf. They just don't have a lot going on in Pittsburgh when it comes to wideouts, do they? Jaden Higgins, he was able to do nothing with 3 targets. Great job. But against that San Francisco defense, I could see why maybe you'd be willing to use him as a fill-in. Isaiah Bond, the Browns won 31-6, but Isaiah Bond did not get a single target, and his snap count was down, which was a real bummer for me because I thought that he might get some more opportunities the further we got into the season. But the wide receivers for the Browns are a disaster. And if you're in business with the Browns wide receivers, you're probably a pretty desperate fantasy manager, right? Yeah. Hollywood Brown, man. Hollywood Brown. I know he's touchdown dependent, especially the last game. He only had 2 catches. 1 was a touchdown. He's had 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games, but he's not getting a ton of volume. And with Rashee Rice, I think Hollywood Brown is more of a fancy, he looks like a name with possible production in an offense that you want to be a part of, but it's going to be hard for Hollywood Brown to be consistently productive with all the players they have in that offense now. So I would probably avoid Hollywood Brown in most leagues. Okay, Isaiah Likely. This is a guy, if Lamar Jackson is back, right? Lamar and Likely, these guys have a connection, okay? Likely's fully healthy now. They're off the bye. I'm expecting Likely to have his best game of the season by far this Sunday against the Bears. With Lamar playing, which I fully expect Lamar should play and be fine now. That's what I'm expecting. The injury report comes out tomorrow and Wednesday. It's Tuesday night. So we don't know for sure, but this is the plan all along. Get through the bye, let Lamar come back healthy. And Likely and Lamar, I'm telling you, Likely's going to score a touchdown. If Lamar Jackson starts that game on Sunday in B-More, Isaiah Likely will score. I'm going to lock myself in on that one. Okay? I love Likely rest of season. There's much more for him to produce. Chimera DK scored a touchdown, 4 catches, 70 yards. Everyone's talking about Ao Manor, but DK, the rookie, scored a touchdown. He only had 4 targets, so he had to make them count, but he did. That's a fluky thing, but keep an eye on DK, and especially with Tennessee always trailing and being down, they got to throw a lot. So Chimera DK could have more value because of that constant game script of being behind for the Titans, right? You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. Remember, everybody's really excited about Ollie Gordon II. We haven't heard much excitement out of the Ollie Gordon camp lately. Yeah, it's been a rough go. There's just not a lot of excitement with the Dolphins, period. There's old Brashard Smith. If you like him, great, go ahead. I'm just not, I don't think he's got enough opportunity to be the man there in Kansas City. I just don't. Trey Harris has no meaning in his life anymore because Quentin Johnston came back, and that's just how it's going to be. Unless there's an injury, Trey Harris is useless. Yeah, that's pretty much nothing too exciting here. Otherwise, it's a rough week here to try to fill the void on certain players. Oh, Fantasy Sports is here. I'm going to pop in. Hey, buddy. Well, pal, Fantasy Sports, how you doing? Good to see you. Always love seeing a friendly face. PPR. Irrespective of the team need, if I have to add one player, who should that be from Booty? Keyshawn Booty. I love Booty. Tez Johnson. Where's our Tez Johnson guy? Shout out to the Tez Johnson guy. That's always going to be a part of the show now. I just love it so much. I love it.
Genius, genius, genius.
Calvin Ridley. Is Ridley going to be healthy too? That's not clear. Arondé Gadsden, Monangai, or Brashard Smith? Okay, so one guy, regardless of need. I love this question. Thank you, Fantasy. This is a great question. I like Booty. Now, Cleveland's defense is a little tougher, so this week only in PPR, I'd have to say that it's Gadsden, Booty, but Tez Johnson could be the surprise play here. If Ridley is healthy, that's good news for Tennessee's offense against Indy. Ridley had one good game this year. That was the Week 5 psycho game against Arizona. 5 catches, 131 yards on 10 targets. But if Ridley's not a go, well, then we got issues. But if Ridley plays, I just laid out the example for Chimera DK about how the game script could be a lot of passing because the Titans will be losing. So if Ridley's healthy, that's a tough one to pass up. I do admit that, even though I was totally out on Ridley this year. But this week, if he's healthy, there's something there. Because the Colts back end does not impress me. Their front 7 is pretty good. I admit that. But the back end, the defensive backs for the Colts are trash. And I'm just not buying that defense is any good. I'm not. I'm not doing it. But I loved Arondé Gadsden, and I love Booty as players week to week. I do. And I love Monangai, but if Swift's in front of him, it makes it a little bit harder for Monangai, right? It does. Even though he could vulture some touchdowns against that suspect Baltimore defense. So in PPR, I'm going to say it's Booty, Gadsden, Tez Johnson. But if Ridley's fully healthy, then I'll put Ridley third. Okay? That's a tough one. Good to see you, mate. I won my fantasy baseball league. Thanks for all the advice and help. Hell yeah, Fantasy. I love you, man. You're a regular here. You are a staple and a crucial part of what we do here at the Pallazzo Podcast.
Utah.
2 L's,
Give me 2.
2 Z's. I'm so glad you won. Congratulations, brother. And good luck with your fantasy football team in the PPR world. You know where to find us, and you can ask questions as much as you want, Fantasy. Your credit's good here, Fantasy Sports. You know that. It's a good man right there. Or woman. I guess I don't know for sure. who you are, other than a name on a screen that I've become familiar with. I've become quite familiar with you. But what's your deal, fantasy? What's your background? What's your story? Bob Hope's here. Holy shit, Bob Hope. Wow. Thank you, everybody. Coming out. We got a really good show tonight. I'm Bob Hope. Pitts Fannin. Also, KC Falcons. Drop Algier for dubs. Thanks. Pitts against that Miami defense is very tasty this week. But so is Fannin against New England with no Njoku if Njoku's out. But I would say it's Pitts Fannin at the moment because Miami sucks. Also, KC Falcons. Are you picking a defense there? Because I'm going to go with the Falcons defense against Miami at home. KC's got Washington coming in. And Jaden Daniels, there's talk that his injury isn't that serious. Like, he's not hurt that bad. Hamstring, according to Coach Dan Quinn, is not significant. So Jaden Daniels ends up playing against Kansas City on Monday night. I fear him more than I fear Tua, right? I mean, it's a nightmare. Tua, it's a nightmare. The whole Miami situation is a nightmare. It is. So would you drop Algier for Dobbs? Tyler Algier is a really great handcuff backup running back to have. Clearly, it's Bijan's show. If anything happens to Bijan, though, it's Tyler Algier's show all day. But I really like Romeo Doubs. And Romeo Doubs right now is the guy who's going to get targets from Jordan Love. But again, with Jaden Reed and Christian Watson in the mix sooner than later, Doubs will take a hit. But even with those guys back, Jordan Love still has a rapport with Romeo Doubs. So that's a really tough one. That's a really hard one. Because Algier is a guy you want to keep on your roster just in case. He's a good running back. But if it's right now and you're desperate to win, if you need to win right now, then I would add Dobbs to win now. They got the Steelers this week. I don't fear the Steelers defense. And right now, there's still no Christian Watson or Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed is still a few weeks away, I believe, because he broke his collarbone, right? In that game, week 2 against Washington. So Jaden Reed maybe comes back in December. But Christian Watson is a guy I picked up a few times over the last week or two, waiting for him to come back off the PUP list. He's going to be closer to returning than Jaden Reed is. Maybe Christian Watson can come back this week. We'll see. Probably not, but he might. Anyways, I love Dobbs. I love Algier. That's a really hard one. That makes it tough, even with PPR included. Man, that's a great question. Thanks, Bob Hope. Good stuff. Uncle T's in the house. Govier. I'm just one. Una? You saying like all the hair is just connected? Good to see you, Uncle T. All right, well, that's it for me. I came here to make a difference. Live chat was much quieter, but I gave you some options for this week. We know who's on the buys. Watch your injury report. A couple quick notes. The Patreon will be adding my fantasy rankings, my fantasy football rankings, positional rankings. They'll be up there by tomorrow. And also my NFL betting sheet is awesome. I didn't get to post it last Sunday, so people won't believe me, but I nailed the Daniel Bellinger 60-1 to score the first touchdown in the Broncos-Giants game. I love those first touchdown bets. I love taking a long shot in those first touchdown bets. Guys like Daniel Bellinger, especially tight ends, who, when you're at the goal line, I've explained this before on the show. First drive of the game, you're driving down, you get inside the 5, maybe inside the 10-yard line, you run a play action pass, and you dump it to the secondary or third tight end even. And those guys are always way down the list to be the first touchdown scorers, way down the list. So Daniel Bellinger came through on Sunday, hit it 60-1. That was awesome returns. But the most painful part, which hurts me most, is I was not able to hit the Kanata Mumpfield of the Los Angeles Rams wide receiver. Matthew Stafford threw 5 touchdown passes against the Jags in Europe. And Kanata Mumpfield was the first touchdown scorer in that game. He was 80-1. And if you've been following my sheet on the Patreon, my betting sheet I post every week, I usually post on Tuesday or Wednesday with my first impressions, and then I make final decisions by Sunday. And for weeks, I've been betting that Kanata Mumpfield first touchdown scorer bet, and it hasn't hit, and then it hit when I couldn't bet because I live in Canada, so I can't use my American betting phone in Canada because I don't have a Canadian phone. So I have to go to America to use the DraftKings app. But I wasn't in America that morning because the Detroit Free Press Marathon was going on. So the bridge and tunnel were closed until 10:30 in the morning. So I couldn't bet the game. I should have bet it the day before and gone over there. I didn't think about it. So I missed out on the Kanata Mumfield because there's no way that's ever going to happen again. That's a once-a-year bet where a guy, 80-1 first touchdown score, actually hits. Oh, man. That hurts. I missed that one. But at least I got the Daniel Bellinger one, so that was quite a consolation for me. Hey, Brian's here. Hey, Brian. Gove, can my Badgers keep it within 33.5 this week versus the Ducks? I don't think so. The only thing, Brian, is does Oregon feel bad for them? I think the Ohio State game, they called off the dogs. And in fact, I wrote that up in my college football betting sheet, which is also available on the Patreon, where I said Luke Fickell is an Ohio State guy, right? He's a coach there. He played there, right? Fickell played at Ohio State, right? Linebacker. And Ohio State didn't want to embarrass their guy, so they only won 34-0. That was the under, and it was also Ohio State covering, right? So Brian says, yeah, laughing my ass off. They are pure shit, I know. Yeah, it's real sad, man. I'm sorry. Wisconsin's a classy program who's been a stalwart, rock-solid program pretty much this whole century, starting with the Ron Dane days and Barry Alvarez long ago. So it's rough to see it, but I'm not so sure that Oregon beat Oklahoma State 69-3, right? So they're not going to, I don't know if they're going to, ease the brakes. I could see it being a 56-3 game or something, most likely. Sorry, buddy. Nothing personal, though. You know that. Oh, Harry's here. All right, just as I'm leaving, people jump in. This is classic. Dobbs or Booty PPR? I'm going to go Booty. I like Booty a lot. Drake May is playing so well. And, yes, he's got a lot of guys to throw to. But I just think Booty, it's a tough matchup this week. I prefer the Dobbs matchup against Pittsburgh, if you're wondering, this week only. For this week's matchup only, I would take Dobbs over Booty. But I like both of these guys. But rest of season, Booty will be more consistently targeted than I think Dobbs will when all those guys come back that I've mentioned 10 times on the show, right? Yeah. Harry also says, what wide receiver to target in return for Henry in PPR? Well, that's like massive, man. That's huge. You're asking me... It's like all the wide receivers for Hunter Henry. What about Wan'Dale Robinson of the Giants? That's one you could get. Maybe you could try to get Jordan Addison. I don't think someone would do that deal, but maybe. Chris Olave of the Saints. Maybe someone does that. That'd be nice. I'm trying to think of realistic gets you could get for Hunter Henry. Debo Samuel. I know he didn't play this week, but if you can get Debo, I like him in that offense. I do. Zay Flowers? Quentin Johnston of the Chargers, as I mentioned. I like him. Those are a few names I would throw out there. Maybe Jamison Williams of the Lions, even though I think he's a real... Jamison Williams is just a classic best ball guy. Oh, it's Derrick Henry. See, that's why I need first names, guys. Derrick Henry, Hunter Henry. Brian says, appreciate you. Yep, Ron Dane and Brent Moss. Oh, wow, that's classic. Wow.
Wow, dude.
Okay, so this was for Derrick Henry. Harry, let's do this again then. So what wide receivers to target in return for Derrick Henry and PPR? Now we're talking. Now we got a bigger list to work from. You could try to get JSN of Seattle. He's on a bye, so maybe someone's like, oh, I need someone this week, so I'll trade him. Try to take advantage of the situation. Drake London. If you can get Drake London for Henry, I would do that. Rashee Rice, who I mentioned with the Chiefs, I would do that. And I don't know if some CeeDee Lamb, probably too much. You could try to do CeeDee Lamb. You could try to do Puka with the injury. If someone's like a little worried about Puka's injury, I would trade Henry for Puka, see if that flies. George Pickens, I don't think George Pickens having a hell of a year, and he's not a fluke. He's got Dak Prescott throwing the ball, and the Cowboys could put up points. So I would trade Henry for Pickens. Those are a few guys I would take a look at for sure. Yeah, I would. I absolutely would do that. Those are trades I would do. Okay? Hope that helps, Harry. Great to see you, my friend. He says, thanks, Mitch. Thank you. All right, I'm out of here. You guys popped in the last second. I'm so glad I got to see you at all. So, thanks, everybody. Good luck this week in Week 8. There is still a chance. Remember, we got 6 buys, so there's a lot to work around here and try to get through. If you need me, you can find me in the Discord or anywhere on Twitter X, MJ Govier, Pallazzo Podcast,
Utah.
2 L's, 2 Z's. We're always here for you. Blue Sky, wherever you need us. This YouTube channel, you can comment here. I will answer your comments on the video, where we have the comment section, if you know how YouTube works. All right, everybody, thanks so much. For everybody here at the Pallazzo Podcast, I bid you adieu. Bye-bye.